Dumelang rala amogela. Welcome to Daily Theta on Amogaimo SABC 1 Nakalina Kitumelo Mototwane. And Lokhonole, of course, we are talking and celebrating as well as commemorating Freedom Day. We're just under 25 years of democracy. We still have a long way to go. Marafela Gaitu Lokhonole will have a spotlight Elungo Revicha Theta moments where we're putting the focus on opinions and just thoughts of young people, particularly born trees, and we're asking them what do they want to discuss, particularly of course related to Freedom Day, and how can we go about it?
Igama lami uKinishan sinimukele ku Daily Theta on SABC 1 and namhlanje njengoba seshilo uDumi sine Theta moment sinukwazi ama born freeze ukuthi 23 years later bacabangana but ama topics asukahlukene bo fees must fall, all those topics acabanga ukuthi thina sicabanga ukuthi naye aba interest or mhlapa aba interest. We want to find out from them namhlanje. Want to have that moment now at home ungenza ukufana usifonele ku 011 3391315. It's a Freedom Day. Siyazi ukuthi uhlele ekhaya or usithola on Facebook na ku Twitter as well. Sizothi umbona wakho thina about this Theta moments. We're
having a very exciting episode. We're engaging Lily Namogaye. We're also engaging with our studio audience members, including our panelists. They are, of course, sitting with us on the couch. They are young people and very, very strong opinions. So, in case you're wondering, well, we have various topics such as, teenage pregnancy, HIV and AIDS, unemployment, entrepreneurship, anything related to politics or social issues, or even entertainment. As far as freedom is concerned in South Africa, are we doing the best we can? Is there more that still needs to be done? And what are the solutions are putting on the table? Because these are future leaders and their opinions matter.
I'm a future leaders way to namhlanje so izinto engajwayelekile la ebhaketheni sama topics ahlukahlukene into abele bayenze nje bona is to pick one topic masisize ukuthi bacabangani ngayo aswazi ke nathi amanye ama topics akhona njengamanje so besibona masibe pick uphele and so verify ukuthi are right yini masisize ukuthi umbono wabo uthini and then the audience wethu as well bazokwazi bephawula about ukuthi bona babona kanjani ngaleyo topics sikhuluma about your AKAs bonang le coffee unemployment land issue.
Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome to the show. Aricheng Abal, and let's meet our ladies. How are you, my ladies? Are you well?
Very well. Perfect.
Awesome. We're joined by Changase and Rachel Jumbo. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, as I've mentioned before, we do have various topics. So I'm going to let one of you pick a topic which we've hidden, and then you can just tell us. Just say it out loud, topic and then we'll discuss it. Ne?
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully you're smart. So if you know who's the first man to go to space, yeah, you want the topic. You'll expose yourself.
Are you sure you want to choose?
I feel like a game show. Like,
Alright.
And just open and read it for us. Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson
fitting, ne? All right. Can you verify it for us?
Okay. Kiona.
All right. Gitata. It is indeed Nelson. How appropriate we're celebrating 23 years, and this is the founding father of our freedom. So I'll just put back, of course, the bowl, and then we'll get into our topic because we still need to use those topics very importantly. So labona picture in a cell, very iconic, 4664 his cell Robben Island. What comes to mind, the late and great founding father of our democracy?
All right. First and foremost, I think when I think about Nelson Mandela, he is, for me, an iconic person. His life is the true embodiment of what it means to be an African from then and moving forward. Like his legacy lives on for me. Yeah.
Sure. And for women?
For me, it has to be resistance and ubuntu and perseverance. To be a prisoner for a total of 27 years, to not be with your family and your wife and your kids, that's a huge thing. And then to not fight for yourself, but to fight for an entire country, an entire continent. So to not be selfish. So that's what
and Masbuga, 23 years from now, what is it that you think Mandela stood for and you guys are continuing on that legacy?
Well, I think one of the very first thing that comes to my mind is the concept of democracy and freedom. As young people today, I feel we have a lot more liberties and freedoms that generations before didn't have. We have access to school, we have access to social events, we have access to arts and crafts. That's something that was never there for generations before that, and I think that's a flag we need to carry forward, because Africa is culture, Africa is art, Africa is something beautiful and unique that the world needs to see. Yeah.
Maybe anybody else who joining into the conversation, and it gets about Mutho has founded our democracy. But just also to give another perspective, other people saying he was also a bit of a sellout, because the Rainbow Nation narrative and Basotho, or maybe particularly Batwabantu, they were expecting and not have a Rainbow Nation like the way President Robert Mugabe Arleng Zimbabwe is for Zimbabweans. Such an argument.
Well, probably. I think Nelson Mandela is a hero and was a hero. So Nelson Mandela is a role model to us born frees, because he actually fought for us and we had to follow his footsteps.
And he fought for you. What exactly do you feel like he fought for? Before?
Nelson Mandela fought for us as we are born free now, because back then there was apartheid, people couldn't go to universities and whatsoever, so probably he is a hero.
Okay. As building up as well, my sister, I believe you have something to say about the founding father of freedom linings in Africa.
What comes to my mind when I think of Nelson Mandela is the word icon and legend. Because as today we're celebrating Freedom Day, I believe it is because of Utatu Nelson Mandela. Like my sister said, we're now having freedom. Remember back then we were segregated. When it comes to education, we had to struggle. But now today we're at varsities, we're not struggling. You see, we're no longer segregated. There's no longer that you white, you black, discrimination of race.
And
it's all thanks to him.
We've had a show, whereby there was also complaints in universities like Stellenbosch, universities like UFS in Free State, University of Pretoria. Suddenly those, cracks, racism, whereby mahua asabelopile as opposed to, black students. Do you feel like we've achieved that 100%?
Even though it's not 100%, but I think, as the saying goes, Rome was not built in a day. We're slightly moving there. Because, they're saying in Stellenbosch, there's still that discrimination whatsoever. But I believe that if you're having the good marks to go there, they won't tell you that, no, go, you do not belong here, you see. So slowly but surely we'll definitely reach that 100%.
Thank you very much. I think we need to get another topic as well. Let's go to Paul Spon. Konani, si keep a level, say very say con. That is in 5 pattern. Mandela ungena la pattern now. Okay, ubano choose aje much.
Yeah, also I can choose. La la.
What is it?
Kanyimba. Mara trending topic.
No,
trending topic. Trending topic. So much I don't know. Okay, and then Ariang breaking her, maybe she would have come down. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Daily Teta on SABC 1. Hashtag Be New with One. And I'm just talking about Teta moments. We always talk about you taking charge. We have Bonella Gwenzagala Namhlanje with Daily Teta. And also Ukete Ukanyimba.
Yeah, and that trend, I think, a couple of weeks ago as well about the same thing. But when you think about that, what comes to mind for Wena Sobathle?
We are not going to talk about Kanyimba, but I'm going to talk about what she represents. For me, she represents what society wants you to be, or what they expect you to be, or you living up to society's expectations. For example, as a female, I'm supposed to have a flat tummy with big bums and big boobs, and my complexion is supposed to be yellow bone. If I'm dark, if I'm fat, So for her,
it's a tough one, hey?
We also have
Pretty much
Menzo.
who said it?
Yeah, please.
I can't, because honestly for me, I love Kanye Mbao. I love the fact that she went from someone who was just seen as a puppet, daughter, now to someone who's actually working. So it shows that she's really trying to change the story or a narrative around her, from just this girl who's an blesser to now a working woman. And I think young people should look up to that, and not necessarily just this shadow, this bad story, but look at how you can change your life. You can work hard and change your life. Honestly, I say big ups to Kanye Mbao for changing that. We're not saying what she did was great. I'm not saying she should have bleached. I'm not saying I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying if you want to bleach and you're comfortable with that, let it be.
Interesting.
What have you learned from here? Like you're saying, from the women who benginalento ukuthi emaphepheni bembranda as umuntu othanda amadoda to now being a working mom, taking care of umntanakhe. What have you learned out of that, Gukhanya?
You know what I've learned is that people will always talk. And as women, we cannot have abantu bazothini syndrome. If people will talk about me, whether I do well, whether I do bad, whether I fail, whether I pass, whether I'm a comrade, whether I'm not, people will always talk. So honestly for me, what I'm learning from Mukhanya is that be comfortable in your own skin. Really.
And when I so about holy ability, because I think in as much as what I respect mostly about what has come out of the evolution of Kanye Mbao, the ability of valid conversations. I think if it wasn't for her evolution, we wouldn't be here talking about colorism, talking about whether or not bleacher. And it doesn't take away from the agency a right to choose what makes you happy. Mara they judge women unfairly. I think if it was maybe a man or somebody from overseas, it would have been better. Because Kanye Mbao and she's black and she's South African, Ramu judge.
Yes. Can I just say this? I love Okanye and how far she's went. She was in an interview once and she said, I've been in the industry for 10 years, but I've only been working for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Okanye was a mother at the age of 21, if I'm not mistaken. She was married at the age of 21. Usapila namanje, and she's standing strong. She has her own things, from owning a Lambo because somebody bought it for you to ngine monto yam by myself. So as females, as women, we have a lot of pressure because they expect, or society expects you to be a strong black African woman who's educated, who has money, who has agency. At the same time, you can't do that if you're a woman. You can't be a president if you're a woman. You can't, but we expect you to be etafuleni, cooking and doing all of those things.
Yo, to me, and into that way, that was trending because of bleaching. And the question is that, who are we to judge? Do we even have a right to judge? If I feel like I need to bleach myself and be white, okay, I'm fine with this. But let me say one day, I feel like, do people have a right to judge me that Uki now is white?
Interesting. Yeah.
Let's find out. Sisu, a comment about topic and Namhlanje. Teta Moments, what's your take?
Well, when it comes to Kanye Mbao, for me, she is an icon to most of the girls right now. Well, when I look at her, I would probably want to look like her someday, or I want to be like her. For me, the way she is, that's her. She's comfortable in that. So I can't judge her.
Would you advise your daughter someday, Mama? I'm not comfortable being dark skinned. I look up to Sis Kanye Mbao and I want to bleach myself. Would you be supportive, hold her hand, go with her and say, Nana, let's consult and see how she did it and do it as well?
Yes, I will support her one way, because I believe that a person can do whatever they want to do.
As a mother, your child can do whatever they want.
She wants to do whatever she wants
to do. Honest, born free. Yes,
all right, thank you so much. Mina, I'm very critical about the situation ga Kanye. I mean, I'm both sides about Kanye. I love her for who she is and how she puts out herself out there to the society right now. But I'm also looking at izinto azenza ngasese, like for example, bleach. I don't support that. I'm not a person of saying you shouldn't be proud of who you are or how you were born and everything. But I like the fact that right now she has built herself from this very iconic lady right now, like South Africa. She stood out starting from the very list of jobs that she can take. I mean, the Lokshin Bioscopes and everything. And right now she's doing her own show or maybe co-hosting a show in Metro FM. A lot of us look up to her right now these days, but also the issue bleaching for me now, like I said, I'm not supporting it, but other people can support it. I don't know.
I think I understand you because I think only a celebrity or only on television. In as much as yes, unali agency and you can do what you choose for, but sometimes as Africans we've been through so much, and we need to make sure we tell the world like tata. We need to affirm to ourselves. For the longest time, colonizers came and said, no, being fat is actually not good. Having curves is not acceptable. Being dark skin is actually ugly. You need to be pale like me. You need to have flatter hair. So sometimes celebrities, I think, society, so many people have access to you. You need to represent Africa. And having Zulu beads is okay. And so I think that's why those expectations are there. But you know what? We still love her. Let's just go take a look at another topic. We can give to Pindile. This is Pindi. Hopefully you won't sigh like you'll choose one that you like.
I'll just choose blue.
You choose blue. All right. Eating topic. Let's see.
Buying awards.
Remember? Payola? Yeah, no, I think, what do you think?
I think that's what we need to talk about. Because, what about some people to me after metros? As we're going to Amasamas as well. Nominations so nominate you, but I just want to find out, what do you think about the industry and buying of awards?
Look, I think it's an insult. That's number one. It's an insult to us listeners. If I am going to be a fan of Ricky Rick, a diehard fan, and he doesn't get an award, and I know there's Ricky Rick, I am going to be frustrated. And that is frustrating also my artist. We saw my artist, Ricky Rick, I'm sorry to repeat him again, but his speech, he was really unhappy. And that discourages my artist, and that discourages upcoming artists. Okay, so I'm going to work hard, sell my demos, and for what? So that someone can just take away that opportunity for me to be recognized.
But how do you draw a line between buying of awards and campaigning for awards? Because some people will say, we didn't buy awards, but we made sure that we have votathons and we went out and promote because we have money to do so. So how do you draw a line between the two?
I think it's about good governance and the principles that are the underpinnings for that. So you have to have integrity. As abantu abaregulatayo, the votes to you when you're campaigning. Are you campaigning now because there's this thing coming, Summers, or you're really campaigning because, look, guys, I've been giving you good music. Listen, vote for me. Like, are you being honest in your campaigning? And the Labantu who are on top or in charge, do they have integrity? Are they really going to rig the numbers?
I think, in episode in Leonard, interview Licker on the phone telephonically, Ava admit live on Daily Theatre, where he's actually had to pay for music. And I think it's a system. It's corrupt. And then the day music and two shoes but does it make it correct now? Or because it's a system you must systeming, or how do you break that cycle? Want to comment briefly? Yes, my lady.
Okay, in my opinion of the buying awards, awards should not be bought, it should be earned. So if an artist, okay, yes, there's a positive and a negative side to it. So an artist might buy an award to get noticed, so they can get more fans. But on the other hand, what about the artists that actually worked hard and actually earned it? And then when it comes to the awards evening, then they don't get it. So what
about the gatekeepers, the people that make sure that they audit the votes, they audit, how they get, and how artists win awards? What's their role? How can they assist?
I feel like they should ban it. Because you can't just be giving out awards like it's sweets. So what they should do is they should ban it. They should actually make it a thing. If you want to buy awards, you should actually be banned from the music industry.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Alrighty then, about the awards. They're not supporting it. Of course, it's a system corrupt. We depend on our gatekeepers, but the in executive positions to make decisions. Protect the ethics to the music industry in South Africa before and discourage the aspiring artists. But on that note, let's go take a short break, and when we come back, there are more topics that we're going to choose from and hear from, of course, our Born Freeze about their opinions. Welcome back to Liberty Daily Teta. SABC 1 and Lokhonule. It's Freedom Day. We're celebrating and commemorating this very iconic and revolutionary and historic day in South Africa. And if you're born free, it means a lot to you because you're in a position we're not in when they were born. So it's one to remember and really, really appreciate. But for we still need your opinion. So make sure you go on our social media pages on Facebook and Twitter about today's topic. And speaking of social media, we have a comment there on Facebook. Let's just take a look at what Manalisi check or I just want to be freed from this freedom. Okay, I was just saying let's celebrate when we are free and you want to be freed from this freedom. So let's ask Pindile Lintlantlage and welcome to yourself, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having me.
What do you think this comment means and how is one freed from the freedom?
All right, first of all, I think we need to first describe what is it that we mean by freedom, right? We do have political freedom, but the truth of the matter is political freedom is nothing without economic freedom. Do we really have economic freedom? Why do we have people, young people more especially, excluded financially in higher institutions of learning because they don't have money, because they are judged with their socio-economic backgrounds? So these kind of liberties, they raise then questions to revisit the notion of being a born free, what it means being a born free. Are we really free? Free from what? What liberties do we have right now? So those are the things, and I'm saying those are the foundations of racism that continue to prevail in South Africa today, of racial tensions in South Africa, that every racism is built on economic constructs. How do you overcome racism? It's by turning the tables, transformation. There is freedom, economic freedom.
So when the tagline "Evering born free," is it appropriate? If we have young people, but they feel they want to still be freed from the freedom, does it still apply, or is it still relevant?
I think one of the dangers that South Africa is facing today is that it is raising a very angry generation of young black Africans. That is very much dangerous because that is a bomb waiting to explode. You know what I mean? We have people that are angry because of issues that are not resolved in our country. The issue of land, we know that land is very much critical to development of the country, to skills revolutions. Why do we have many young people being excluded from schools because they can't pay for their fees? Fees must fall. You know what I mean? We can't downplay that. The roads must fall. What does it mean? Are we really free? I think we're not born free because there is obviously issues that need to be resolved inside the country.
Sure. Pindile, what does it mean to be born free, and how do you describe freedom in your own words?
Look, I get offended a bit when I'm called a born free. And here's why. Yes, I was born and I was free. And like Untlanta said, free from what? The fact that now I can go to Wits and I owe 400,000 after work. Am I really free? The fact that there are things like black tax. We cannot shy away from the fact that people who are now in varsity have to go back, build houses for their parents. They have to pay fees for their younger siblings, the extended family. So how are we free, really? I think born frees are people who are going to be born 55 years after democracy, really. It's not us. It's really not us. Land. No, we're not free.
All right, then, well, let's involve audience members. And my brother, also microphone, comment.
Hi, my name is Mandla from
I love your hairstyle, by the way. Hi.
Thanks, thank you. I think as for us being called born frees, we're not really free. I mean, for the fact that the only freedom we have is freedom of movement. That's the only thing we have. We don't have economic freedom. That we don't have. I mean, for the fact that you have to go to university for 4 years, you gotta pay, and after that you owe money. And as for NEFSAS, you'll be told that you're not poor enough to qualify. Is that being free? To be poor? Because you'll be told that you're not poor enough to qualify for NEFSAS. If you do qualify, you'll do your degree maybe for 4 years or so with that funding of NEFSAS. After that, you owe NEFSAS money. Hence, I'm saying we don't have economic freedom.
All right.
My brother as well.
I also agree because we were given a freedom at which we're going to start working in an economy that's not growing fast enough to create jobs. So the freedom is really a mirage of something that we could have, but we don't really have at the moment.
What went wrong, if you imagine the negotiations between the apartheid regime and our government then, when they tried to some sort of an understanding so that from this concept of freedom. What do you think went wrong with the negotiations so that address all these issues that you are talking about?
I think the simple thing would be ownership, because it's still white management. It is still white management. So we don't own the things we're going to work for. We're going to work for companies and the money's still going outside.
Wow, interesting point.
Let's go back to Nkodla Wetu and choose a topic.
So
please, about this.
Still have more topics.
Okay. I wonder, because we are getting into serious issues right now.
Yeah.
I'm so hoping they're going to get something serious as well, because I think that's why you guys comfortable.
Can choose.
Choose wisely.
Economic transformation. Economic transformation.
Yeah, no. And of course. And a theme here, I think, of our government, radical economic transformation. Do you think that they're on the right track, at least starting conversations, Kayona, in Parliament?
Yeah. Basically, one of the things that we should raise as a young generation is that why do we have such conversation as Black Africans? We are white people. They should be brought back into this table, and we discuss these issues with them. Because when we speak of economic transformation, we do not speak of inclusivity, but we speak of transforming the whole spectrum of economics. For an example, when you implement programs such as broad-based Black economic empowerment, you are actually fighting to be included in that mainstream economy. And what are you doing right there? You are acknowledging the fact that you are not the owner of that mainstream economy, but you want to be included. Now we only speak of radical economic transformation. We want to turn the tables around. How do you then begin to turn the tables around? Industrialization, manufacturing. You see countries like China, like Russia and stuff like that. The industries, like, they contribute to more than 60% of their GDP. You know what I mean? So we need to manufacture inside the country. We need to have institutions that would create the revenue from the countries. And I think we are heading to the right direction in terms of the appointments of various personnel inside the Treasury departments.
And Pidile, your take on this?
My take on this, I recently went in a seminar about the manufacturing sector. And what I found out is that is the most responsive sector there is right now. So for me, in terms of transforming economy, so I think it is us really looking at the manufacturing, plastics, steelworks, really how are young people being trained and versus stimulated to be able to go into the sectors and actually be of value. I really think we are taught as young people that yes, we are free, but we are not taught how to own, how to enter spaces where we are scared, we are very timid as young people. And I really struggle to understand the role of young people in economic transformation. It's not articulated enough for us. As Wits, what are we doing? Student leaders, what are we doing to transform the economy in just that community?
Most of the times, and I'm not sure if you've read this or heard about it in passing, which I think also it's a bit of an insult to Batoba and Sogore. Only this thing yagore, batla dirang e ba inyaka this land, they want this land, ba nyako ba included. Mara, are they educated enough for running the farms? Are they educated enough? But these skills enough.
Some people even make an example as Zimbabwe as well. We're gonna be like Zimbabwe. We want things, but we're not ready to actually.
We're not ready for them.
We're not even trained to actually look after us.
Is it true? Is it true? The land and the economy falls into the hands. Yeah, so how about ready for you?
You know, I've always tried my best to actually counter that argument. Because the question is, who wakes up each and every morning and take care of those crops? It's the Black people. Who wakes up each and every morning and make sure that they get the revenues that they need, those white people, those white farmers. It is the Black people that actually work the land. So we are capable more than enough. We are more than capable of managing the land. And there is this myth that is going on that says that we lack skills in South Africa. We do not lack skills in South Africa. We've got physicians in South Africa. We've got geophysicists in South Africa that are actually concentrated in the insurance companies. Why are they wasting their skills there? We need, when you want economic transformation, you need to have skills revolution as well. Educate young people, make sure that colleges and FET, you dismantle that stigma that they are worthless and stuff like that. But you create young people that are going to go there and actually become artisan plumbers and agriculturists.
Cool stuff. Usabukela iDaily Thetha on SABC 1 #BeNew with 1 isikhuluma ke namhlanje about Thetha Moments nama Born Frees. Are they abangama Born Frees na? Bafila kanjani ukubizwa ngama Born Frees? Are they even iFreedom Lab isho ukuthini kubona after 23 years sikuyona yona into esikhuluma njengamanje, and also at home now sithola on Facebook daily_Thetha and ku Twitter as well daily@daily_Thetha. iDaily Thetha lesiyabuya after this. Sahleli nathi kwiDaily Thetha on SABC 1 #BeNew with 1 esikhuluma ke is Thetha Moments namhlanje into engajwayelekile wesithatha ama topics ahlukahlukene sofaka kwipoll, and then youth yethu ama Born Frees lawa azoke sichazela ukuthi wona cabangana about this topic asuke sayiphikile, and then also on Facebook sikhuluma nawe @daily_Thetha. I see there's something from Nomulelo Wendy Fox. It's a dream deferred for me. I think growing up in a fallacy that is the Rainbow Nation, there's a lot I'm still questioning. What is a Rainbow Nation?
Yeah, because not only conspiracy theories, as I was saying before the ad break, or some people are questioning the Rainbow Nation. Is it for the benefit of black Africans in South Africa? Or a strategy free, but somewhere. What do you think about that?
One of the things that we need to question first is, what is Rainbow Nation? What is a rainbow? I mean, black is not even there. So when you question the issue of Rainbow Nation, where are black people in the Rainbow Nation? In the past, I'd argue that this is a psychological suppression because it channels us to think that we are part of something that we are actually not part of. In the past, we had jobs reserved for white people. Today, they've built their own empires in our strength, in our sweat, in our blood. But we're not part of that mainstream economy. So we're not part of the Rainbow Nation. It's a fallacy. It is psychological suppression that channels us to think a certain way, that indeed we are part of something that we're not part of.
Sure. Do you agree or disagree? Because they can argue and say, during the negotiation tables, kind of Kodesa, when our political leaders were negotiating, they were under pressure to make sure how really a civil war, which is what other countries had to endure, where people died, blood was spilled, so that they prioritized. And Rainbow Nation we should be including so that
with the Rainbow Nation, I would say, with the certain group, they had the self-affirmation. They knew who they were before they came into the space of a Rainbow Nation. And we come into a system where we're playing catch-up the whole time. I have to look a certain part to get the job. So there's no Rainbow Nation.
So as black people, you mean we're still catching up, ne? Okay, cool. Let's go back to epoxing later as well and finding out what is nanla and this one. What topic is hamba ganjan. I'm hoping you're gonna get something as interesting as well.
This part here, it excites people because they're like, I can actually tell her. It was like, okay.
Spur video.
Spur video. Do you all know the Spur video? Liboni got a Spur video. Yeah, hey. What do you think about the Spur video?
All I can say is that I stopped going to Spur. Like, I don't support Izintezenjalo. Where a woman has to defend herself against a man. That is a social construct wrong.
I think for me, as well, because the white gentleman, I think there was a point by Axel Shaky but kids were scared. I mean, and the next thing, it's scary, and you would hear a lot of the restaurants, especially family restaurants, they would want it to be a very child-friendly environment.
The Spur bonage. Did they handle Leanto Lea ngendlela yakhona, or it was just that apology they say on social media, on papers, and that was it?
Well, I think I was not satisfied with the manner in which it was handled by Spur. I mean, I believe that a person acting in such a manner should be charged in Human Rights Commission. We've got institutions in South Africa that look into those things. Human Rights Commission. There were children there. What example are we setting to young people? And it goes back to what is happening in our society, the racial tensions that exist, that continue to prevail South Africa. How do you confront those racial tensions? We've had a number of instances whereby white people, for an example, have uttered words that are not not pleasant to black people.
Have you ever been in a situation like that yourself?
Sorry?
Or have you ever been in a situation like that for yourself?
We experience it every day at WITS. I mean, you walk into WITS, then you feel that this is not your environment. You're not created to be in this space. This is not your space.
Sure. Brother man, I don't know, what's your take out of the topic? Your microphone, please.
The topic let's le video le SSP. Like mina for inte ngaba touch kuye for labantwana laba ba experience lento le. Ngabona ama parents madala ayalo but ngabona ama parents madala but abantwana lento le build something else to labantwana laba. Kubo kula like for now we've talked about freedom ukuthi from apartheid from now gole wabanjani. So lo mntana lo eziyena makabona lento lo bona ucabanga ukuthi aseko free ngalendlela lena abantu ba emphasize ngakhona because lo mlungu lo mambona kwami beka aggressive to lo mama lo to such a point kube lo mama lo beka la iduze bengagcina amshaya nakhona uvimbe ile amatafulo lawa mvimbile and then abantu abasespe like people like they were watching babukele like banganandaba ukuthi kenzalani abantu basespe there was a guy lapha athi yasukuma khona umama uthi hayi hlala phansi abantu basespe bazodila naye like the party leza incha which means nathi esingabantu thina black people ngokwethu asimelani which means violence yinto esiyithandayo sifuna ukubonga ukuthi bekenzeka kaso then solamula after then sithi hayi bebaphapha boyithu ufuna nespe and then lo mlungu washo something else athi thina lo mama lo belonga kuphi lokushini deserve ukudla amakota yeah something like that and lento le was an insult for me kakhulu to some of us for mina for my side ngikhulele lokushini so mangikhule ngibe nale ngqondo ukuthi mangisebenza funguzisa espe mangifuna ukuzisa espe bangithe ukuthi ngibelong elokishini ngiba offended.
Yeah, and I can understand why we're offended because remember whole level the history of the election, a township nearly created by the colonizer of the apartheid regime, so to take black people out of the suburbs, out of quality healthcare, quality transformation, and let them behave. So I can actually understand why it could mess up with your psyche. But I also are learning more about what happened and the way handling the consequences. Penny Sparrow, Twitter, these things coming up. Do you think the law in South Africa or our government is handling it very well? Things like this erupt in South Africa.
First of all, dumelang.
Thobela.
Lega.
Tloga kae papa?
Ron, grata di ribs. Blind. Mara, what happened? Cause I must say, I answered sharp. It wasn't properly handled. I mean, I felt like something harsh should have done.
Besides Barba Mubena from coming to any other side.
Look,
how harsh could it be?
Look, I'm not trying to take away food from somebody's mouth, but the way they handled it, I think maybe to an extent, or they should shut down that store because now the way they handled it is like, okay, if we handle this our own way, we're gonna lose customers. This makes me question something. Is it about money or customers? What do you care most about? A person's dignity, loro treat you wrong, or wena, what or fella when it's I did first or 1 million. What is it really all about? Is it kamukawena as a person or kachelet? I mean, this takes me back to, are you united? We're really not united. You can't say to someone, "Hi, do la fa why? How do la fa to that person? Then what happens?
And the kitchen work to sign and then Revimban. Alrighty then. I'm going a lady orangena about this comment. I mean, you're a lady, and there was a woman defending herself mola against this man who is standing up. And I mean, ho check even a profile these things in different restaurants, even against girlfriend. How did it make you feel? How about that video?
I felt offended really because I feel like as black people, I don't know, we're still scared of white people.
Why are we scared of white people 27
My
years
point
after,
exactly. We're still scared of them. If it was black against black, they would have handled it way too differently.
23 years after democracy, I'm saying 27. I'm looking at Utata in my head. So
Yeah, yes, this is what we're facing, unfortunately, that today black people are still very much scared against white people. You know, we don't have something that's strong, that to discipline, to be like, you know what, no, you can't behave in this way. This is supposed to bring us together. We're supposed to be a rainbow nation. Instead, black people, we are oppressing ourselves. Black people oppressing another black person. This is what we're facing today. This is my comment.
Interesting. And usabukele Daily on SABC 1. And also, I'm a tweet wako and my Facebook post wako sewafunda as well. I see something from Umsebenzi Patrick. I'm not a born free, but mina ngithi ifreedom ayikho kithi sodwa kusese nekatelelo ngaphandla phapa. That's what Umsebenzi is saying. We're going to take on SABC 1 coming after. So we're going to unpack this Teta moment before we wrap up the show after this. Welcome back to Daily Teta on SABC 1. Today is Kuluma Born Freeze. Want to find out exactly what about my topic is now with Pauli too. And since what born aba itini namhlanje sithi kwi Freedom Day nje si celebrate lo 23 years asasutholile ukuthi babona kanjani nanokuthi izwe going forward imuphi umbono wabo ngalo. Namhlanje to me and we're going to be taking lama cards wethu so shake. I think this is the last one right now because we have Munashe as well. So mnikeza ithuba lokuthi naye azithethele and masutholile siza ukuthi what's your take topic yet that usuyikhethile Munashe azishe. Yeah, Zishe Munashe sounds good.
Thuli Madonsela, former public protector. Like she was of course replaced by a new public protector. Busi Mkhabela. Man?
Busisiwe Mkhwebane.
Mkhwebane ne? Yes. Why can Mkhabela? Okay, nakhane the gospel artist. Azongishaya Mambusi. Askis Mambusi, yes. Askis Mambusi ne? Tandaka. All right. So we can start the conversation. What do you think about the public protector, or the former rather, public protector Madonsela and her legacy that she's left behind?
I think she's left behind a legacy whereby she is the first public protector we actually saw who took her job way beyond, you know, the scope that the previous public protectors took, you see. And she was faced with a challenge whereby she had to confront the president of the time over an issue that was actually prominent and people wanted answers. And what she did was exactly what her title provides, to protect the public when it came to an issue of spending public funds. Although, you know, when she left office, a lot was not concluded as to what her job, you know, entailed and to finish off the work that she did. And I felt like, in a way, she should have either expedited the process of finishing her work or made a proper handover that would continue the work that she had started.
Yeah. Okay. And your brother?
Yeah, she was, honestly speaking, there was a face to the watchdog of the country. And I think we need that transparency. We know who we can go to voice our opinions. We'd say, there's no running water in this place. It's just a simple thing. And
Ubusi Mkhwebane about after a takeover. Do you think now also continue with the legacy Thuli Madonsela, or you don't see that happening?
Let's temper logo because the people in power put her there for a reason. So let's just have faith in the system.
And I get back to the audience members. What are some of the most iconic or rather memorable reports? Jenny Thuli Madonsela. No one comes to mind. You know, a report here. You know, pay back the money, the infamous one. Mara, do you think or to light things or we've never probably have found out about and conversations and topics of discussion so the Africans wouldn't have had the privilege of actually engaging in? What do you think?
Okay, firstly, what I'd like to say is that I have so much respect for Thuli Madonsela, and the work that she has done on her term as the public protector was really remarkable. So the most that stands out is the Nkandla report. We all know that, and from that and other of the cases that she has handled, she made us aware of things that were happening in our country that we were not aware of. Like we were not even aware that there's the security upgrades happening at the President House. We didn't even know money was spent, which was not supposed to be spent on that. So for me, she really opened our eyes and she made us to be able to question some of the things that our government is using, most especially when coming to misusing state resources.
And what do you make of her as a role model? Because all the critics didn't like, hey, you can't too much of a celebrity. Ramona got the magazine cover, Ramona got the Time magazine. Okay, a populist, you know, then but as a role model, what did you think of her role?
Wow. The first thing that comes to my mind is power to Imbokodo. Well, she deserves ukuvela kuma magazine. That woman did a very great job. Like my brother has said, she has revealed izinto bengihlambe bengeke sizazi. You know, I just hope now this new public protector will continue on her work, because Indayenzile is wow. Wow, she's the best.
We have something of
No, I agree with her. Uthuli as a black woman has inspired a lot of young people. That is a woman of caliber. When I grow up, finally ngibe at that level, wherever I am in my field, I must be so influential. I should give the nation so much value. For me, she is the embodiment of leadership. She's an Mbokodo of note.
And now we might even have a female president, possibly. And it gets a lot of people like, political party. Do you think she would have made a great political leader and should have, you know, maybe considered politics after her office?
Look, right now we're faced with politics with no principles, right? And I think Uthuli has a lot of principle. So we need leaders like her. So I wouldn't say I wanted to be a president, but I really think in our political space, she would be an asset, a proper asset.
And then also there was something I found in my paper about mistakes. One of them was that Ingani estate, which was I think BMW S6, and all those things, not paying, living without not paying for all those damages. I don't know. What do you think of that? Does that discredit the way Umbo Akona as a role model, or it's something that shake when we use or we funda my paper?
It did shake me, but I was more curious to see why is it such a huge thing. With Uthuli. If it was another person, not necessarily a public protector, was it going to be so noisy too? Was the media going to go on a frenzy with Uthuli? So for me, I think her life and what she has done and where she has led put her in a position whereby everyone is looking, what's going to happen? Is your daughter going to pay? How are the payments going to happen? So for me, I think it's a matter of just her being so influential. I think. Interesting.
I don't know what on social media. Daily Chat is on social media, Facebook and Twitter, including Instagram. So let's see how a doc or on Facebook. Our freedom. Free meaning you need to be free in your own home, you need to feel free you know, in South Africa. And I can relate to that because as someone who's worked overseas as well, it's quite frustrating to experience, you know, racism and then experience it the same. It's like, where do you go? It's like go to your cousin's house and you know how free go high, how free her cousin, low hood high, how free. So you'd want to at least, you know, experience that sense of freedom while you're in South Africa. You know,
to me more about someone who overseas. I'm blank because I'm going to overseas.
You worked overseas. Devon is overseas.
But it's fine.
Devon is overseas. It's fine.
And again, if you about this, we always are on this show you taking charge. I'm sure namhlanje Freedom Day uhlele ekhaya abantu abaningi abayile emsebenzini wazibona Daily Teta lapho for the very first time. Make sure ukuthi nanganilanga futhi awuphoswa yona.
And we're going to have many more of these Teta moments. Make sure you're part of them. Make sure you call us, so you can even go to our social media pages or suggest guys. There's a great segment. I think we need to talk more about certain, you know, topics, whether it's education, entrepreneurship. This show is all about the youth taking charge. Take charge of the show, take charge of your life, and make sure you're a part of our future Teta moments. SABC 1 every Monday to Thursday at 11 a.m. on SABC 1. Bye-bye.